Welcome to the history of Australia. We are going to take a look into the first people to inhabit Australia and the arrival of the Europeans in 1606, and travel through history and visit the convict era, the gold rush time, and much more. Did you know there is evidence of human habitation in Australia dating back over 65,000 years? This fact is truly fascinating. Long before the renowned pyramids of Egypt were even a conceptual possibility in the minds of the ancient architects, human beings were already leaving their distinctive imprints on the vast and diverse landscape of Australia. Australia's first inhabitants were the indigenous Aboriginal people. Their thriving culture, one of the most ancient and enduring on the entire globe, is deeply rooted in ancient wisdom and contains a wealth of rich, vibrant traditions. The Aboriginal people have a very unique and fascinating perspective of time and creation. They tell stories of the dream time, a time that predates what we understand as the concept time, which details the creation of the world and all the creatures that inhabit it. These remarkable tales have been meticulously and carefully handed down through a myriad of generations, thereby engraving the essence of a prehistoric era onto the canvas of the contemporary world. The Aboriginal people were not just talented and imaginative storytellers. They were also resourceful and innovative hunters. They possessed a thorough and intricate understanding of the land and its diverse wildlife. Using this knowledge, they developed complex methods of hunting, such as the ingenious use of boomerangs and spears, which continue to amaze and astound us in the present day. Furthermore, these exceptional people had a profound mastery over the art of fire management, a practice that is now recognized its potential to significantly lessen the risk of large, destructive bushfires. These refined techniques, which involve the regular burning of undergrowth in a controlled and calculated manner, have been perfected over a period spanning tens of thousands of years. One aspect of Australia's prehistory that is particularly intriguing is the enigma of how the Aboriginal people made their initial arrival on the continent. Given that there was no land bridge connecting Australia to the rest of the world, how did these early settlers manage to traverse such vast stretches of ocean to reach this remote, isolated land? This question has stumped historians and archaeologists for many years, and the answer remains one of Australia's most tantalizing and captivating mysteries. The bond between the Aboriginal people and their land is profound and enduring, a relationship that has withstood the test of time and remains etched deep in the annals of history. As we move to the next segment, we will explore the arrival of the Europeans on the continent and the profound transformations they instigated. But for now, let's take a moment to appreciate and marvel at the rich and enigmatic prehistory of Australia. This story, which traces the intricate tapestry of human existence, commenced over 65,000 years ago. In 1606, a Dutch explorer named Willem Janszoon became the first European to set foot on Australian soil. Janszoon, a navigator of unparalleled skill, led his crew across the uncharted seas on his sturdy ship, the Duifken. His aim was not only to seek new lands, but also to expand the reach of the Dutch East India Company. During his voyage, he happened upon the northern coast of an expansive, untouched continent. This discovery was monumental, marking the beginning of Europe's awareness of a far-off land that would later be known as Australia. However, it would be over a century and a half before another noteworthy European expedition would take place. This significant event was led by an experienced seafarer hailing from England, Captain James Cook. Cook was a distinguished naval officer and explorer who had an insatiable thirst for discovery. In the year 1770, Cook, at the helm of the Endeavour, set his sights on this mysterious, intriguing landmass. His primary destination was a place that would later be called Botany Bay, an area now known as a part of modern-day Sydney. Cook's mission, as instructed by British Crown, was to observe the transit of Venus across the Sun, an astronomical phenomenon that held great scientific interest during the Enlightenment era. This event stirred great excitement within the scientific community, and Cook was tasked with documenting this celestial spectacle. However, Cook's voyage held another, more secretive objective. As the British Empire was in a period of rapid expansion, they were actively searching for new territories to claim as their own. Cook was assigned to explore the potential of this southern continent as a significant addition to the empire. Navigating the undiscovered eastern coast, Cook embarked on a journey that took several months to complete. He felt a deep connection to the place, bestowing upon it the name New South Wales, in honor of his homeland. It is crucial to dispel a common misconception at this point. Cook did not discover Australia. The indigenous Aboriginal people had been residing there for over 40,000 years, long before any European set foot on the land. However, Captain Cook's voyage brought this far-off land to the attention of the European world, especially the British Empire, which was intent on broadening its global influence. The impact of Cook's voyage on Australia's history is immeasurable. His detail of fertile soils and abundant resources caught the interest of the British Crown. Impressed by Cook's conclusions, they made the strategic decision to establish a colony on this promising new land. This resolution led to the arrival of the First Fleet in 1788, marking the commencement of the convict era. This period, filled with adversity and triumph, drastically altered the trajectory of Australia's history and the lives of its indigenous people. Cook's voyage was more than an expedition. It was the catalyst for a new epoch in Australia's history. His journey set the stage for a transformation, a reshaping of a continent that would change its landscape forever. Now, it's important to clarify a common misconception. Cook did not discover Australia. The indigenous Aboriginal people had been living there for tens of thousands of years before any European set foot on the land. What Cook did was bring Australia the attention of the European world, particularly the British Empire, which was keen on expanding its global reach. Cook's voyage marked a significant turning point in Australia's history. The British Crown, impressed by Cook's reports of fertile soils and abundant resources, decided to establish a colony there. This decision would lead to the arrival of the First Fleet in 1788, initiating convict era and dramatically altering the course of Australia's history and that of its indigenous people. Cook's voyage set the stage for a new chapter in Australia's history, one that would change the continent forever. In 1788, the First Fleet of British convicts arrived in Australia. This was part of the New South Wales region. This was a moment in history that marked the inception of a pivotal age, one that would forever shape the future of the land down under. The convict era, an era rife with brutal hardship and the ceaseless struggle for survival. An astounding number of over 80,000 convicts were transported by ship from Britain to Australia during the late 18th and the entirety of the 19th centuries. These individuals became the reluctant architects of an emerging country, their transgressions varying from minor theft to more grave offenses. The convicts were brutally subjected to extreme conditions, with meager food supplies and inhumane punishments served to those who dared to misbehave. Yet even surrounded by such adversity, they managed to lay the foundations of a nation that would later emerge as one of the world's wealthiest and most prosperous. As the population of convicts enlarged, so did the colonies. New settlements began to emerge along the eastern coastline, with the most prominent being Sydney and Hobart. But these colonies were much more than just sites of penal servitude. They were burgeoning communities, filled with life and potential. Despite the rigorous penal laws and harsh, unyielding environment, the convicts and the free settlers managed to find a way to cooperate. Together, they constructed necessary infrastructures, tilled the arid land, and established diverse trade networks. In opposition to the bleak circumstances, the convict era was also a period of significant transformation. A multitude of convicts, after serving their sentences, managed to turn their lives around completely. They transitioned from criminals to become landowners, traders, and even influential figures in the society they had hand in creating. In 1868, the practice of transporting convicts was finally abolished. But the convict era was far from forgotten. The that had been erected, the roads that had been laid, and the farms that had been cultivated by the convicts endure as physical reminders of this historical epoch. Even more so, the convict era has permeated the very cultural fabric of Australia, influencing its arts, literature, and even its unique sense of humor. Australia today is heavily influenced by this era of its past, shaping its cultural identity in ways that continue to be felt and observed. The convict era is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a tale of redemption amidst extreme hardship. It's a story of individuals who, despite their circumstances, contributed to the making of a nation. It's evidence of an era that, despite its end, continues to live on through the country's cultural essence. Even today, as we revisit the pages of history and delve into the past, the echoes of the convict era continue to reverberate in the heart of Australia. It serves as a constant reminder of how a society was built by individuals who were initially sent to the land as punishment. The convict era left an indelible mark on Australia, shaping its culture and identity in ways that are still felt today. It's a testament to resilience of the human spirit, a tale of redemption amidst hardship. Even as we turn the pages of history, the echoes of the convict era continue to reverberate in the heart of Australia. And now, we will move on to the times of the gold rush. In 1851, gold was discovered in New South Wales, sparking a gold rush that would transform Australia. This captivating piece of news spread like wildfire, creating an irresistible allure around the precious element of gold. Soon, a tidal wave of eager and hopeful diggers set foot in the region. They weren't just locals, but people hailing from all corners of the globe, each one enticed by the promise of riches and success that the gold rush held. However, the gold rush was much more than a mere search for wealth. It was a pursuit driven by dreams, by the promise of a better life, by the hope of transformation. Prior to the gold rush, Australia was primarily a penal colony, serving as the final destination for convicts from the British Empire. But the discovery of gold brought a new dimension to its identity, forever altering the course its history. Witnessing the prospect of striking gold, people from different continents, cultures, and walks of life migrated to Australia. Immigrants began pouring into the region from far-off places like China, Europe, and North America. They came with their unique stories, their individual dreams, and their collective hopes. Australia, in this transformative period, was no longer a land of convicts. It evolved into a land of opportunity. It became a land where dreams could be fulfilled, where a better life was within reach. As the gold rush continued and gold flowed unabashedly, wealth began to permeate throughout the region. Townships sprung up around the goldfields, bustling with unprecedented activity. Shops, banks, and even theatres started to dot the landscape, bearing testimony to the burgeoning growth of Australia. It was growing, and it was growing at an astonishing pace. The period was characterized by prosperity, but it was also a time of disparity. Not everyone found gold, and not everyone shared the wealth that the gold rush brought. Inequalities began to surface, tensions rose, and conflicts were inevitable. The most prominent of these was the Eureka Stockade Rebellion in 1854. Miners, disgruntled by the expensive mining licenses and lack of political rights, rose against the colonial authority. Although the rebellion was suppressed, it left a lasting impact on Australian society. It ignited a spark for democracy, for a fairer society, and laid the groundwork for the Australia we know today. The gold rush was far more than just a frenzied hunt for gold. It was a period of transformation and growth, a period that wove together the rich tapestry of cultures, of people from all walks of life. It helped shape the diverse, multicultural society is modern Australia. The gold may have run out, but its legacy continues to shine, echoing the monumental changes the gold rush era brought. The gold rush was a time of great change and upheaval, a period that defined the Australia we know today. It was a period of discovery, of dreams, of hopes and aspirations, a period that witnessed the birth of the modern, multicultural nation that Australia is today. It was a period that transformed a penal colony into a land of opportunity, a land of dreams. It forever the course of Australian history, and its impact continues to be felt today. The gold rush was a time of great change and upheaval, a period that defined the Australia we know today. Let's continue on, Federation and beyond. Now let's move on to January 1st, 1901. The colonies of Australia united to become a single nation. This historic event symbolized the beginning of a brand new chapter in the annals of Australia's rich and storied history. It marked the inception of an era that would instinctively see the youthful nation steer its way through the choppy, often tumultuous waters of the 20th century. This journey would see Australia blossom from humble beginnings to emerge as a proud, self-sufficient entity on the global stage. The formation of the Federation of Australia was by no means a rapid or spontaneous event. In fact, quite the contrary. It was the culmination of several decades' detailed discussions, intense negotiations, and heated debates. The 6 colonies of New South Wales, Victoria, Queensland, South Australia, Western Australia, and Tasmania, each with their own unique set of laws, customs, and governmental systems, came the profound realization that they had more to benefit by uniting for the cause than remaining separate, autonomous entities. A significant part of this journey towards becoming a unified federation was the drafting of the Constitution. This was an exhaustive process, a mammoth task that required an immense amount of negotiation, compromise, and mutual understanding among the various stakeholders involved. In the early years of the Federation, the newly formed nation faced its fair share of challenges and obstacles. These ranged from economic to socio-political ones. One such instance was the rather daunting task of selecting a suitable capital for the newly born nation. After much discussion, an agreement was reached. Canberra, a purpose-built city nestled in the heart of the Australian Capital Territory, was chosen as the capital. It was believed that this strategic location, positioned equidistant from Sydney and Melbourne, Australia's 2 largest cities, would prevent any one city from dominating the country's political landscape. Throughout the course of the 20th century, the nation of Australia underwent a series of significant transformations. These included enduring the trials and tribulations of 2 devastating world wars, the crushing economic collapse of the Great Depression, followed by subsequent recovery, and the sweeping social and cultural changes that took place in the 1960s and 1970s. Each of these events tested Australia's resilience and adaptability, shaping its character and identity as a nation. As the century progressed, Australia began to truly find its place on the world stage. It was during this era that the nation began to embrace multiculturalism and diversity, taking significant steps in an effort to right the wrongs of its past. One such step was the country's formal apology to the Indigenous population for the atrocities committed during the era of the Stolen Generations. This marked a significant step towards reconciliation, healing, and a unified future. By the time the century drew to a close, Australia had well and truly established itself as a prosperous democratic nation, earning respect and admiration globally for its unwavering commitment to peace, human rights, and social justice. From a collection of Australia had grown into a proud and independent nation. This journey, while marked by hardship and challenge, is a testament to the enduring spirit of the Australian people. The challenges faced and the lessons learned along the way have shaped Australia into the nation it is today, a testament to resilience and determination. In the 21st century, Australia is a vibrant, multicultural nation. This country, located in the Southern Hemisphere, its transformation into a major global player is a story that is truly inspiring. As we uncover the layers of modern Australia, we encounter a nation that has traveled far from its modest beginnings. Today, Australia commands a significant position on the global platform, contributing meaningfully to international affairs. However, the global influence exerted by Australia is not solely a result of its economic strength. Its unique and diverse culture, a confluence of numerous traditions, has left an enduring mark on the global cultural landscape. This cultural influence is clear, from the iconic Sydney Opera House to the cuisine-tantalizing fusion of flavors. Australia stands as a powerful testament to the strength and vitality of cultural diversity. But like every nation, Australia too grapples with its own challenges. Environmental concerns such as climate change and the safeguarding of its one-of-a-kind biodiversity are continuous struggles. There is also the struggle for fairness and justice, especially concerning its Indigenous communities. These are crucial elements of the modern Australian narrative. Australia's ongoing journey towards reconciliation with its Aboriginal history is a deeply moving part of its present-day story. The nation's act of acknowledging and respecting the traditional custodians of the land signifies important milestones in this journey. From the public apology given to the stolen generations in 2008, right up to the continuing efforts to officially recognize Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people in the nation's constitution, Australia is consistently striving towards healing historical wounds. Modern Australia's accomplishments are undeniably impressive. The country boasts Nobel laureates, champion sports teams, and groundbreaking technological innovations. But it's the quintessentially Australian spirit of mateship and resilience that truly encapsulates the essence of the nation. It's a spirit that has managed to endure wars, withstand natural disasters, and adapt societal shifts, and it continues to propel the nation forward. The history of Australia is a story of survival, resilience, transformation. It's a story of a journey that is still being written. From its Aboriginal origins to its multicultural present, Australia's narrative is a powerful testament to the strength that can be found in unity amidst diversity, a story that continues to evolve, and Australia's history is a tale of survival, resilience, and transformation. It's a journey that continues to this day. From its Aboriginal roots to its multicultural present, Australia's story is a testament to the power of unity and diversity, a tale that continues to unfold and inspire. Thank you for taking this journey into the past with me. Our exploration has taken us across the expansive and diverse terrain of Australia's rich history, from the obscure mysteries of the prehistoric era to the vibrant, pulsating life of the contemporary period. We've trodden the steps of European settlers who first ventured into the unknown wilderness, convicts transported to the other side of the world in chains, gold miners who braved harsh conditions in pursuit of unimaginable wealth, and the visionary architects of federation who laid the foundations of modern Australia. Let's not forget the journeys we've embarked on, where we've delved into the stories of explorers who survived the treacherous outback, the pioneers who carved out a place for humanity in this rugged land, and the settlers who built towns and cities that have stood the test of time. We've also seen the struggles of the indigenous people, their resilience and their fight for recognition, and their enduring connection to the land that goes back tens of thousands of years. Their stories, their culture, and their history are an integral part of the narrative that makes Australia what it is today. Yet this journey is far from over. There's an abundance of stories that remain untold, hidden gems waiting to be discovered, uncovered, and shared with the world. From the early indigenous cultures that have flourished here for millennia, to the vibrant, multicultural society that Australia has become today, there's a wealth of history awaiting your discovery. Think about the untold stories of the immigrants who left their homes to seek a better life in a new land, the tales of courage and sacrifice during times of war, the inspiring stories of women who fought for equality, and the remarkable achievements of Australia's scientific and cultural pioneers. I hope you're as intrigued as I am, eager to uncover the tales that Australia's rich and nuanced history has to offer. I invite you to like this video and subscribe to the channel. To ensure you don't miss out on any future explorations, make sure to ring the bell for future notifications. This is not just a trip back in time, but an exploration of our shared heritage. Remember, studying history is not just about understanding the past, it's about connecting with our own identities, grasping a greater understanding of who we are, and gaining insight into our collective future. History is the key that unlocks the understanding of our present and shapes our path forward. So, I eagerly invite you to join me again next time as we continue to explore the fascinating history of Australia.